Hello, welcome back. So here is a business requirement. As per this requirement, we are saying that the database users, they can only log in to the database during the weekdays. And in case somebody violate this rule, that means in case somebody trying to log into the database during Saturday or Sunday, then we are going to send a email to the DBA reporting the user ID and the time at which the user tried to connect to the database. Okay, so this is the business requirement, and how do we come up with a solution to solve this problem. Okay, so again, looks like a issue with trigger, and then we can use trigger to solve this problem. So in fact, there is a trigger called system triggers which are going to help you in this case. Okay, so let's go and see the code. So basically this is a trigger I create called login_audit, and what I'm going to do is the event here, the triggering event here is after logon to database. Okay, so you see, like, in previous cases we are seeing that on the update of a table, okay, or we are seeing that on update of a view, but in this particular case we are the triggering point is after we log on to the database. That means in your SQL Plus, whenever you use a user ID and password and then you enter, okay, so that is the time you are connecting to the database. Okay, and then what I'm saying here is that at this, if I have a trigger like this, login_audit, which is going to fire after the login on database, then what essentially is going to do, we are going to execute this action. And what this action? This action here, it checks that if the date at which it is we are logging in is Saturday or the date is on Sunday. Okay, so day is on Sunday, right? Then what we are doing, we are inserting into a audit table. Okay, so you are inserting an audit table the time at which this violation happened, and from the user env variable, using this sys_context package, we are going to find out what is the user ID and what is the IP address from where he logged in, and what is the host name from where the user logged in. Okay, then basically essentially we are putting these things to the table called audit table, and we are creating a message which is called $message, and we are constructing a message saying that user, and then what is the user ID, logged into database at this time from this host, and then using a send email procedure, we are sending to the DBA, which is dba@abc.com, and the message is, this is the message that we send, whatever we created on the fly, and then the subject of this thing, that user audit event triggered. So in this case, what we did, we logged into the audit table, but still the user is allowed to proceed. That means the user can still access the database. In case you do not want to proceed, then what you could have done, we could have called reg application_error. Okay, so you could have written something like this, reg_application_error, and you give some error code, let's say 2001, and then you say that not allowed to log in. So in that case, if you're going to write this statement in here after this if condition, then in that case we log the violation, and we are not going to allow the user to continue to log on to the database. Okay, so this is called, this is called a system trigger, because the triggering point is a system event. Okay, similarly here are different types of system event after which we can fire a trigger, and then basically here in this example, whatever I showed you after login. Okay, so you can also fire all these things after startup, before shutdown, and these are the event on which you can also trigger your